Hey guys, it's Raleigh. So Janthir Wilds is fast approaching, and so far ArenaNet has kept pretty quiet about the story and the lore of what is to come in this expansion. Recently, a lot of other content creators have gone and summarized everything we know about Janthir and surrounding lore aspects. I figured I would be beating a dead horse here if I were to do the same, so instead I would like to focus on what we do best here on the channel, and that is come up with some cool theories on what we could see in the lore aspects of Janthir Wilds. Obviously, this is all pure conjecture, so take that for what you will, but as always I will try to connect as many points as I can and use proof from within both games to support any theories I have. Also, spoiler warning for Cormier knows what, since we will be talking about all kinds of stuff from both games. You've been warned nonetheless. Okay, so I guess I will start out by talking about an old theory that I had for Secrets of the Obscure, where I talked about a secret language in the world of Guild Wars and how I connected it with Nyos. Obviously, you can go watch that video if you want to, but the gist is that there was a secret message in Guild Wars 1 that I thought we would finally get a revelation to during our journey into Nyos. Well, that didn't happen, but it could perhaps be that I was wrong. So this original text that was translated during Guild Wars 1's time says this: "An offering to those who seek, beyond the mists, beyond the dreams, on a distant shore of a land unwaking, answers there lie in waiting." So at first I thought this text was referring to Nyos with its second line about mists and dreams, and I still hold to that belief, but I think I might have interpreted this wrong. Maybe it's not just referring to Nyos, but there's more to it. If we assume that this is a prophecy of sorts, then it could highlight our journey that we have taken so far. Meaning the second line says that once we go beyond the mists and beyond the dreams, aka after whatever we do in Nyos, then we will come to distant shores of a land unwaking, where the answers will lie. Distant shores could obviously mean the Isles of Janthir that we will be visiting in this new expansion. Another word stands out to me heavily. The very last one, in fact. Waiting. Could this be referencing Waiting Sorrow, the wizard of the Astral Ward that left on precarious terms? Well, we are dealing with Coden in the new expansion, and yes, these are lowland Coden, but we do not know the connection that they have to the regular Coden we know from the Shiver Peaks. So, this secret message that we discovered in the Shiver Peak Mountains all those years ago that deals with the human gods in some shape or form could perhaps be finally resolved. But those are not the only connecting dots here. With the trailer of the new expansion and the spear previews and beta that just happened, we got some interesting things in terms of languages. Many of the spear skills use numerous amounts of languages from all over Tyria. The etchings for the Elementalist as well as the Extirpate skill for the Necromancer both use New Crichton. The Guardian symbol of Luminance uses Ascalonian, and the illuminated version of the Solar skill for the Guardian uses Asuran. So we have a lot of different languages that appear in the skills that are taught to us by the lowland Coden, who in the trailer are said to be extremely ancient. So what could this mean? Are the lowland Coden scholars through and through and perhaps know all the languages because they have amassed a huge amount of knowledge of the world as they secretly stayed hidden for all those years? Why would we be using these different languages in our skills? When we look at the design of the different skills for the spear, more specifically the Elementalist, we can see some other aspects as well. For one, each of the etchings is a reference to one or two of the Elder Dragons. Fire is Primordus with the letter P in the middle. Water is Suwan and Jormak with the letters S and J in the middle. Air has a K for Kralkatoric, and Earth has an M and Z for Mordramoth and Zaitan. So, the design as well as the Elder Dragon reference brings me back to the map of the All. The map shows the All with the Elder Dragon's 6 spheres of influences around Tyria, and they are represented by the New Crichton letters we see in the etchings. Seems to me that the developers are connecting these Coden to a lot of ancient knowledge of Tyria and magic and that sort of stuff. Fortunately, it does not end there. The lowland Coden are said to have long separated from their reverence to Coda, and are said to look more towards nature and the sun. This is interesting since I still have this vague theory about the sky or space in the world of Tyria. In short, this theory entails this. I think the stars in the night sky are actually realms within the mists, meaning that space is the mists, and we can actually see other realms from Tyria by looking at the night sky. Whether this is true or not, there are some interesting connections with the sun, Janthir, and the mists. When we look at the old map of the mists, which, just FYI, reads in Ascalonian, "Beware the danger of secrets kept," we can see something interesting. The very center of this map seems to not only be represented by a sun symbol, but also an eye. Looking at the whole map, we can see a clear triangle form around the centered eye/sun. Well, what do we have that connects all those dots? Obviously, the Eye of Janthir, and the fact that it's specifically mentioned that these Kodan are guided by the sun and nature in some form. Not sure what theory to form from this exactly, but it leads me to believe that we perhaps could find out more about the nature of the mists and find out the meaning behind the Eye of Janthir. What is its true purpose? Why was it created? For so long it was just associated with the Mersat and the White Mantle, but what if they stole it from the lowland Kodan and repurposed it for their nefarious plans? When we defeat Lazarus during Season 3, we see it disappear, and Livia mentioned that it's gone forever because its masters are gone as well. Well, obviously that seems to be false, as we just recently saw the Eye in Nyos. Or did we? Maybe we saw an Eye of Janthir. It was never explicitly stated that there's only one Eye of Janthir. So while one was perhaps controlled by the Mersat and the White Mantle, maybe there is a second Eye of Janthir that exists. I mean, looking at the Elder Dragons, and more specifically Zaitan, we know that he had multiple eyes as well. Which brings me to perhaps the most outlandish of today's theory and discussion points. What if these eyes are actually part of Janthir? Or let Janthir, whoever or whatever that is, see things around Tyria? What if Janthir is the sun or a sun god, seated within the center of the mists, that uses its eyes to guide the Kodan? Maybe there was a specific reason why one of these eyes served the Mersat, some larger plot created by this mysterious Janthir. We see the eye symbolism in the Mersat structures and weapons a lot. It's almost as if they secretly worship this eye. Perhaps it shows this Janthir as the one who has guided them, or who they have been worshipping for all these years. Obviously, this is a total tinfoil hat theory, but perhaps we will see something like this come up at some point. At the very least, I think the purpose of the Eye of Janthir is deeper than simply serving its masters, or whatever it was doing with the Mersat and White Mantle. I think that about wraps up my thoughts so far. Obviously, we will have to keep an eye out for whatever ArenaNet will present to us in terms of story and lore in the upcoming weeks, but I have a feeling that maybe we will see some really deep story that connects some of the very integral parts of the Guild Wars universe. What do you think of these theories? What theories do you guys have about what's coming up? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel to see more of this kind of stuff. I will see you all later. Bye guys!